was blind, but now I can.
Yeah, calisthenics number 12. Yeah. Fly robotics. Bifocals, my only purpose is to feed the locals. I'm spreading love when I see you and gotta approach you. I see the goodness in you, I wouldn't John Wick you. I know you hustling for your family just to pay the fiscal. I see the God up in you, He bless your physical. While we navigating problems, the world is abysmal. Skip the one up, let's get it to the center. Your house is big as mine, we can always help each other. Affirmation smother, it ain't even cost me a dime to uplift my brother.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome everybody back to Vulnerability is the New Sexy. And today we're going to talk about a conversation that kind of hit me yesterday. I really had no idea what we was going to talk about, but yesterday I had to check myself into the ER because I was having chest pains. And, I live a reasonably healthy lifestyle. I don't really eat bad. I work out regularly. I don't drink or smoke. I have no real vices, you know what I mean? So I'm listening, and I'm trying to figure out what these chest pains come on. And the doctor told me something that, really rocked me, man. So I just want to come talk to y'all about it. Basically, what I heard was, as a black man, I'm genetically predisposed to high blood pressure. Even if I do everything right, I'm gonna have this high blood pressure. And mainly it's hereditary. The first thing I thought was, man, pops didn't do shit for me, but pass me that. So it reminded me how often we as black men carry, man, the stress and the trauma and the expectations, and we do it in silence, and our body's just holding that. And today I'm joined, again by my brothers Walter and Q, and I feel like I gotta, put some kind of disclaimer up from my brother Jay. Ain't no telling what's gonna fly out his mouth, but I love this guy. He's here to talk to us tonight about health. Somebody I communicate with often when I talk about my health, and not just physical, but we talking about emotional and spiritual health too. So this episode is about calling out what's hurting us, man. So I just wanna. We was kind of talking a little bit before stage, so I'm gonna start with this one question, and I'm gonna throw it to you, Q. Have you ever ignored a physical symptom just because you didn't want to admit that it's a problem?
Yeah, man. Like we was talking backstage, man. Like I'm gonna start off with my eyes for sure. Like I hadn't been to the eye doctor for 15 years, and went probably like 5 years ago. And one of the eye doctors was like, "Oh no, you cool. You don't need no glasses." But I be squinting so much that I just got used to squinting, and I started getting these headaches, and I just ignored it. And then my wife was like, "Nah, we going to the eye doctor. You need some glasses." I get there, he told me like my left eye is pretty much gone. Like I got astigmatism, whatever that is. Like my left eye is pretty much gone, and my right eye compensate, tricking my brain to telling me that my left one's good. But if I cover my right eye, I barely can see. Like everything's blurry out of my left. So I ignored that for years. The symptoms, the headaches, and like I was saying, I still ain't even wearing them right now, but I should be. But yeah, like gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, definitely got to stop doing it. What about you, Walt, man?
I have some health challenges. And I figured that out from ignoring. The first symptom I had was happened to be with my eyes. Um, MS presented as something called optic neuritis. I lost the sight in my right eye completely, almost completely, before I even went to the doctor. So I had pain and discomfort, and I couldn't see, but I still wouldn't go to the doctor until I was like, wait, my vision. So
Damn,
Yeah, man.
lost complete sight in your right eye for how long?
darkness. After I saw
Damn.
the doctor and they put me on the steroids, it took maybe like 2 or 3 weeks for my vision to come back completely. Um,
That's
and I
wild.
say completely, it was still damaged. It took about 2 years for it to come back completely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Wow.
Jay, man, I know you go to the doctor now more than damn near anybody I know, but did you ever ignore some stuff coming up?
Yeah, man. I guess, in denial when I first was told that I had diabetes. So, uh, I would still eat what I want, drink what I want, do what I want. And so I think my son was born, I was 24. So I was 24 when I found out I had diabetes. I didn't take my diabetes serious until I turned 34. So with all of the possible things that could have went wrong is what made me kind of be like, you know what? I don't want to lose a limb. I don't want to go blind. I watched my grandfather lose a limb. My dad, he don't do right by his diabetes and stuff. He's had 3 or 4 bypasses. Diabetes is evil, dog. It affects everything in you: your eyes, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your joints, your tool. It messes with it all. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not ready to lose none of that stuff yet. So I decided to, get it right, and I neglected it for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. That's just, man, I didn't really start going to the doctor regularly till I was in my like late 30s, which is nuts considering both my parents died before 40. So and and they died of medical situations. So that sounds, I never really said that out loud. Honestly, that sounds nuts thinking about it. But I started to go regularly, but even still, I was just going for the once a year checkup if something was happening. You know what I mean? I'm shaking it off. I thought I was doing good by going for the once a year checkup, man. But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta when them symptoms pop up, you gotta do something about them. But why you think we don't going to the doctor, man? What's your opinion on that, man? Why we ain't going?
I mean, I can sum it up in uh, men don't cry. I think a lot of us heard that phrase from our fathers, grandfathers, some male figure that we looked up to. And I think even though it's some colloquialism, it's true. We take it to heart and we don't go to the doctor. We don't go see about ourselves. Um, and I think it stems from childhood.
Yeah, yeah. What did they tell you, man, about I mean, I don't know if you know or not. I'm just asking you because you got MS. You said you got MS. Did they tell you anything about how that affects black men, or does that something that shows up in black men? Are you a unicorn? What?
So interestingly, that's what I was told when I was diagnosed in 2005. But there are studies now that are showing that black men were just underdiagnosed or just underdiagnosed because we don't go to the doctor.
Yeah. So it's a thing.
It's a thing. When I was diagnosed, I was told that this was a predominantly middle-aged Caucasian female disease.
Yeah.
And but here I'm standing there and they're telling me I have it. So um that was 20 years ago though, like I said, and now they're coming to find that, it's we are more affected than they first thought. And it's just because of lack of reporting, because they don't have the statistics, because we don't go to the doctor. We don't report these things.
I mean, did they give you like a prognosis when you first heard that you was diagnosed with this thing? Like, what was your
They did.
expectation?
Um, they told me back then that I would be in a wheelchair within 10 years. Um, I actually had a prescription for a wheelchair that I never got filled because I felt like, you know, that would seal my fate if I would have done that. And here I am 20 years later, I'm still, mobile. And I know a lot of people that have a diagnosis this old that are not mobile. So, I attribute it to I started paying attention to my health and
Damn.
eating better and going to the doctor and listening.
Now, Jay, we think we all got somebody with diabetes in our family, man. I know I could throw a rock and I'd be lucky to hit somebody that don't have diabetes at my family reunion. You know what I'm saying? When did you find out that you had diabetes, bro?
Uh, 24 years old.
Damn. Can you get it that young?
Yeah. So there's a such thing as called juvenile diabetes. Kids can get it.
What?
Yeah, kids can get it. Kids at 2, 3 years old can get it. In my case, it was genetic. I got it. Genetic diabetes. At least during that time when I found out it was for people that was obese. That's what. Oh yeah, you gonna you got all this weight. You gonna be a diabetic. Man, I was 140 pounds
Yeah.
diabetic, and it just all of a sudden one day I was it just came on. I guess I was ignoring the signs early on. It took me about 3 days to realize something was wrong.
Yeah.
I was driving my wife of then to work, and I kept telling them, man, it seemed like every 3 to 5 minutes I had to stop and go urinate. I had to go to the toilet. So I was just that sugar that was in me was just trying to flush out. So I dropped off at work and I was on my way back home, man. And I'm like, you know what? This ain't normal. I better go stop at the ER. So I, went check myself in at the ER. Um, and my vision was so blurred that I don't even know how I got to the damn hospital. I drove myself there.
Yeah.
When I got there, went through triage, and next thing you know, I see all these doctors and nurses just rushing out to grab me back in. I didn't know what's going on. Took blood, ran everything. Back then, 80 to 120 was a normal reading for diabetes. Your diabetic glucose numbers. Mine was 1,185.
1,000?
1,185. You're
Damn.
like,
At
how did
24, this was later in life.
huh?
At 24, this was later in life.
At 24.
That's insane.
1,185, and it was like, okay, who drove here? How you get here? I'm like, I drove myself here, and it was like, son, you lucky you're not dead. You lucky
Right.
you didn't even go into a diabetic coma. So I just so happened to somebody just said go. So I dropped off at work, went to the ER, found out I was a diabetic. Even with that being said, and even with them telling me that this could have killed me, I still neglected it for 10 years. They was giving me little prescriptions, and I take them when I felt like it. Or stuff like that. I wasn't taking this shit serious, man, at all. So I take it very serious now.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I knew I had high blood pressure, like last year. I went to the hospital for something completely different. I caught some kind of virus and I was throwing up all over the place and all of that. And they was like, man, your blood pressure's out of control. So they told me that. And, I started like taking the medication, but it started affecting other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it started affecting all kinds of other stuff, including my sexual performance. So I'm like, man, I'm not taking these no more. Like, there's no way. And I was thinking that I could like just eat some beets and, what I'm saying, I can beat the blood pressure that way. And so that's why I stopped taking the pills, but I didn't trust what they was telling me. I'll be honest, what I'm saying, I'm still trying to get myself to a place where I can trust what they be telling me, because I feel like, when I'm in the doctor's office, I don't really feel like I'm engaged or locked in with somebody. I never really had a doctor that, what I'm saying, that really engaged with me. And it kind of, like throwing that around, do you ever feel like you have, talking to Q, do you ever feel like you have mistrust of doctors in your lifetime, man? Like, is there just a mistrust when it comes to what these doctors are telling us?
Yeah, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, y'all making me feel bad, bro. Because I haven't been to the doctor probably like 7 years, 8 years. Probably last time I went was for a job to get a physical, and that still just don't sit with me right. Like I don't trust them at all. Like I was at a job and some PVC pipes fell on me. You know what I'm saying? I got a little workers comp from that or whatever. But I went to the doctor and they was telling my wife like, "Oh yeah, he got blood on the brain. They hit him in the head. Like watch him. He gonna change and it's gonna affect you more than it do him and all this. So just watch him." And then I'm all panicked, worried. They come back in right before we supposed to leave, and like, oh no, that was just a little light on the scan, so you're good. We missed it like right then, at the same time. So it's like that mistrust, like they think we superheroes and that we can't be affected by a lot of stuff, so they misdiagnose so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to trust that. But I don't mean to keep going, but like we got a doctor in the family, on Toya's side of the family. Well, she's not our family, but she's, very close with the family. And she's like, it happens a lot, but you really should go to the doctor when something is very wrong with you, and not all the time, because they will misdiagnose you all the time. And she's a neurologist herself. So yeah, just make it hard to trust that. But we know like doctors, they're professionals for a reason.
Yeah. I think early on, it's no secret. My mother died when I was 15 years old, and she went to the hospital, and they diagnosed her with headaches. And then she left the hospital, and like a day or two later, suffered an aneurysm and died. So if they had diagnosed her correctly, she might still be here today. You know what I mean? So that right there impacted me in a way where, I mean, I know some of y'all just honestly just practicing. I think the person that, talked to my mom might have been an intern at the time, or just who knows what they are right now. But, I mean, they just, so that creates something inside of me that kind of makes me like, can I really trust what you're saying? And I'm not trying to scare nobody out there, but I mean, we're trying to have a real conversation, right? I mean, we're not here to provide answers. Honestly, we're here to have a space to talk about some of these things, man, because that mistrust is deep, man. It's deep, man. Like it doesn't come from nowhere. But let me move on a little bit, man, because what I want to know, brother, how does like stress affect that MS, man, like in a real way?
Man, stress affects me in real time. Like, I have balance issues. I get stressed out, my balance gets worse in real time, like in the moment. Um,
Yeah,
Weakness, tingling, like it's all affected in real time by stress, by mood.
right, right. What are your like main sources of stress? I mean, you don't got to get personal like that, but just some general sources of stress that get to you.
Um, I don't know, man. I feel lately super sensitive to all stress. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um, but it's no different from anybody else's stress, man. It's life.
yeah, yeah. I know me, but I'm particularly stressed by race. I listen. It is what it is, man. I get really stressed out by racism. I think I made a post yesterday about it, man. Like, I get super stressed over racist shit, man. I just I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, but I don't want to be affected by that. As a therapist, what I'm saying, I have to help people navigate, how the world around them affects them. But I would be lying to y'all if I didn't say like I see something, super ignorant and racist, and I don't start feeling a little something inside of me, man. So I know that has a major effect on why my blood pressure is through the roof right now. It's honestly through the roof. It was at critical level when I got up in there, man. It was kind of alarming, but they said I wasn't having no stroke. So um, I was just trying to understand why that pain in my chest was coming from. But Jay, does stress affect diabetes at all, or
100%.
yeah, what way?
It releases cortisol in your body. It releases cortisol. Cortisol raises your glucose levels.
Yeah,
So, and I'm like yourself, I stress about every damn thing.
yeah,
So, it's just it's kind of it's like you said. I know what's causing the stress. I know why I'm stressing about certain things. Like you say, racist issues,
yeah,
um, issues at work, family stuff. And like Walt said, just everyday life stuff. It's just stuff in your life that makes you stress. A lot
yeah,
of people say you can woosah and all that other stuff. That's easier said than done, man. When it comes to your family, what's happening around you. So yeah, it can definitely raise your glucose level. It can raise your blood pressure levels. It can do stress. Man, stress can kill you straight up. Just straight up, it will kill you.
yeah. It really can, man. And that's something you tell me all the time, honestly. Um, and I do want to connect for the brothers out there, that long term, that silent killer of stress to like what I want to connect that to black men. And like, what are some of the things, I got some ideas, but I'm gonna throw it out to y'all first, man. What are some of the things that go along with being a black man that cause stress, uh, typically in us that y'all can think of off the top of your head? I'm gonna go back to you, Jay. What do you?
The expectation set upon you.
Oh my
You
God.
know, the expectation that has been placed upon you, and when you feeling as though, although you may be doing a decent enough job, but you feel like you're not up to the task of doing what's expected of you, that stresses you the hell out.
That
And
expectation.
that's at home and at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know every man could relate to that, man. That's something that we come across. I come across in practice every day in all of our conversations, the expectations, realistic, unrealistic, that come along with being a black man are immense, bro. You see me like get my little anxiety tick right there, start rubbing my eyebrow, bro. They immense, bro. That pressure is out of control, man. That you're talking about first that financial strain. Got to be
Oh,
providers,
oh yeah.
right? Family expectations. You got to be the strong one. The pressure to be the strong one all the time. That means you cannot break down. So you hold that in. And let me tell y'all something, bro. The body holds that stress. The body holds that stress. I think it's a book I'll carry called The Body to Keep Score. That book is 100% accurate. The body will keep the score. If you are holding that stress in your body, not letting it out properly or processing that stuff, man, it'll tear you up, man. Um, Walt, what are some ideas you have about some of the stresses that we hold, bro?
Man, I'm stressed when I'm driving here. And I'm serious, man. Like, so my
Right?
wife often says that, so my gait is off, right? Because my balance is off. So I walk a little off kilter, right? My wife always says I drive the same way. So whenever I'm driving and I see a police officer behind me or in the lane, that I'm always super nervous because even though, listen, everything is legal, I'm up to date. I have nothing in the car that's not supposed to be in the car, but just the idea of being pulled over by the police, it's a stress. It's a stressor, and it really affects me in traffic. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm stressed in traffic too. What about you, Q?
Man, for me, it's financial stability, man. Stress out, I hyperventilate. Like if I see my bank account getting to a certain spot, I start hyperventilating, sweating profusely, my heart be beating fast, like, and it just, and I try to control it. And I want to say it's anxiety, but I don't know for sure. But I know, like, if I look at my thing and it's like not where I want it, I completely stressed out. Vision started going blurry, everything. Like that's a big thing for me, and I think for a lot of black people.
Yeah, man. You in the chat, man. Tell me what stresses you out and how does it affect your body, man. I'm really curious to get some insight from everybody. Because we holding that stress. And I guess I want to know kind of like when did y'all start realizing, man, I can't believe you said 24, Jay, bro. I never knew that, bro. That's throwing me all the way off, man. But when did y'all start realizing the stress was impacting your body? I'm gonna start with you, Jay.
At 24 years old. Like
You did,
serious, man.
they
I
tell
had
you they tell you that because you have done anything to prevent the diabetes, man? Is that just something you just got handed to you, or I mean?
I probably could have ate differently. Man, I'm 24. Who doesn't eat bullshit when you're 24?
Everybody you should have 24. Yeah, man.
So I was young, not thinking about health issues. Man, we Superman at that age.
Yeah,
I
Hmm.
don't think about I'm gonna die because of some disease or some stuff like that. I'm violent.
yeah,
But at 24 is when my ex-wife was pregnant with Jay. My stress started. I'm about to be a dad. So man, you got to do some things.
yeah,
You got to bring men into the house. You know, you got to make sure that you're not the same type of dad your dad was. Oh man, all these things, all this stuff, just it was just every day just trying to figure out how to be the best dad that I can, and at that time the best husband that I can, because I was getting prepared to be married
yeah,
and have a kid. So and then during that time, I can't say you won't believe it because you'll definitely believe it. Dude, I was a serious hot. I was think I'm a hothead now. I was crazy back then.
hmm,
So from job to job to job because not taking shit. How they say keeping stuff real. Okay, so I was keeping it too real. And all that stuff was just stressful at the time. And I look back on it now, it just was a whole bunch of unnecessary stress. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it was a necessary stress because it was stuff that in my head I had to do. I had to be a dad. I had to be a provider. I had to, so all of that stuff that was stressful. And lost our mom, so I had to still help raise my sisters with my dad, and stuff like that. So I had it on me at a young age, man. So it was stressful.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, I never I didn't think about that until hindsight, but everything in life as far as stress and the way that I handle situations changed when I became a father. Like everything. The pressure of it all became immense. Especially like, for me, I got laid off like right when my son was born. And I think that
So
set
did
off
I.
something in me that never really repaired itself, like in a real way. Like it never really repaired itself, man. And all them pressures that you was talking about just now, man, it changes you, bro. That black fatherhood, man. If you really serious about it, I mean, if you, I mean, I don't know. Some brothers turn their back on it, and I'm curious to know, how the stress affects them type of brothers. But I don't know, man. What about you, Q, man? What talk about how stress started showing up in your life, and when you start realizing it was impacting you in a real way.
Man, I'm gonna say when my second son was born. So he came out purple. He went to the NICU and like we can't touch him, nothing. He's in the incubator, and seeing the like I guess he flatlined. And in the NICU, they got these warning lights, so they start flashing. I'm like, what's going on? So his mom like, go in there and see. I'm like, they won't let me in there. So I bust in there, like, and after that, after he was cool and everything, I sat down and like that's when I started getting that. Well, I've been telling y'all about the hyperventilating, like where I just start sweating out of nowhere, heart beating fast, vision go blurry, like I'm almost out of breath, feeling like I'm finna faint. You know what I'm saying? I realized like later on with when things come up, like I was saying, financial stability and all that, looking at my bank account, realize like that comes from me stressing, over stressing. Like, okay, this is why I'm hyperventilating and vision getting blurry. So that was the first time it showed up, along with knowing that, oh man, this is my second child, and now I gotta step way up,
Yeah,
so it was a lot. It was a lot for me.
yeah, that's insane, man. I never heard that story before. I didn't know y'all went through that.
Oh
Appreciate you,
yeah.
bro. That's crazy. Walt, man, I don't know how expensive MS is, man. Did you have any like barriers, like staying healthy, all this, over the years?
The biggest challenge, man, is being able to buy food, healthy food. Food is expensive here, and MS requires a whole food diet. It's an anti-inflammatory diet. It's the best thing to have. So that can be expensive. The medication, the doctor's visits, the medication that I'm prescribed right now that I just recently stopped taking, that injection, they bill the insurance like $6,000 for this one syringe every month. Um,
Oh my
so
goodness.
yeah, it's a very expensive disease to have.
Man, did you have to like avoid the help or just tell yourself you was all right sometimes? I mean, I know you didn't have that kind of money your whole life. It's crazy.
So the thing is, I have insurance, um, the copay is still $2,300. So they have programs that take care of the copay, right? Um, but to answer your question directly, man, I never really stressed about it because I never took it serious until it started to affect my life. And it took a while, it took about 10 years before I started to say, wait a minute, this is a thing. Like, there's things changing about my physical that shouldn't be changing this young, and so then it started to get my attention.
Like what, man? Like how was it starting to affect your life?
Uh well, the first thing that happened is I started to get weak. Like my core started to get weak. Um my ability to like hold my urine became weak. Like I had to like not like diabetes having to pee so often because like I would have to go to the restroom and go to the stand in front of the toilet and nothing happens. I have a this urge, like I have to go right now. Get there, nothing happens. Or the opposite, like I gotta go right now. And I go, like it's just a whole host of problems that it causes because it's, it's affecting my nerves. So any person who knows anything about like electricity wires, right? If you have a wire, it has insulation on the wire. If you get a break in that insulation somewhere, then the signal or the electricity that you're shooting through that wire, you're going to lose some of it through that break in the insulation. So what MS does is it eats the insulation from around the nerves, which means that when the signals go through, some of them short out, some of them get there, some of them are weak. So it doesn't matter how strong a muscle is, if you can't really tell the muscle to do the thing it's supposed to do, you just can't. And that's what happens with MS.
No cure.
I in medicine and science, no, but it's an autoimmune disease, so I believe 100% that there's a switch that could be flipped. We just haven't found the combination of things that flip it.
I don't mean to stay on you, bro, but I'm wondering, like, going through that type of stuff, man, what kind of mental strain, what is the mental side of it, man? What's the mental strain that it put on you, knowing your body was feeling limited this way?
It's a strain every day, man. We already have a lot of pressure on us as men, and even doubly as black men. But then when you recognize that you just can't fulfill the obligations, whether it's the ones society has on you or the ones you have on yourself, you just cannot physically fulfill them anymore. It's difficult. It's a difficult thing to walk through, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back, man, because I got more on that. But I wanna go to Jay and talk about that mental strain as the same thing. Like, man, did you I know you just recently got to a space where you even talk, you know what I mean? So like were you just holding all this stuff to yourself, and when you were like finally got to a place where you wanted to start, I don't even know if you even talked to anybody about the mental strain of the diabetes, man. Have you still holding that, or?
Yeah, that's one of those things that still I kind of talk about it a little bit with Stacy. She's in the medical field, so I can talk to her about this stuff and she can give me feedback on it because she's in the medical field. But as far as just talking about it, venting about it, not really, man. I just cope with it and deal with it. And maybe that's a bad thing, but I try not to look at it as a death sentence, and I try to do everything I can to eat healthier, try to be healthier and not do some of the things I did back then, and be on medication, go see all these different doctors. I have 5 or 6 different doctors that I go see, so it's necessary.
Yeah.
And so I'll discuss it with those guys. So yeah, I'll talk to them about it.
Yeah, okay. Now you know what you know about diabetes in our community. If you're not educated, all you know is that, Uncle so-and-so going, like my Uncle Gene, he ain't had no legs. He got his legs amputated. He was a diabetic. That's what I know about diabetes. So for you, man, I mean, I know you're more educated than the average person on diabetes, but I'm gonna ask you straight up, man, are you scared? Are you afraid?
Oh yeah. It scares me all the time. It scares me all the time because I was shaking my head when you were earlier talking about, what happened to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's similar thing happened to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the doctor on Sunday. He diagnosed her with having like a bad flu. So they sent her home with flu medications and stuff, not knowing that she had diabetes at 32 years old. We found them Wednesday morning, because they missed that. She got misdiagnosed. Not necessarily saying that, if something, it just was weird that our lives are so parallel, man. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I was 16 when that happened.
16.
So, it's that scares me. I'm like, man, I mean, my mama didn't make it this far, and so my grandfather, I kind of watched him. He had diabetes, started eating better, stopped smoking, and all this other stuff. But the things that he did in his past, smoking, drinking, like you said, your body don't forget. So all of those things from him smoking and drinking early on, it came back to catch him in his later age. So I drink occasionally. Smoke, I don't touch a smoke. I don't want to see a cigarette. No matter of fact, don't come around me with it. So yeah, I'm afraid of what diabetes can do to me, even if I'm trying to do my best with it. I know it still can take my life. I always contributed to people, who don't have the finances to take care of it, because this stuff can be expensive too. I have sensors that I use to check my glucose levels, and each of those sensors are like $1,000 a piece. But thank God I have insurance that I only pay, I think, $50 for each one. But just think about all the people that don't have a decent insurance that can, can't afford this stuff.
You
They got to
did.
use ancient, medications and stuff like that. And these doctors, like Walt was saying, and we've been saying, their description as a job as a doctor, but they're still practicing. They don't have facts on all this stuff. They don't know 100%. They're just practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So we our lives in their hand because they're practicing. We're basically guinea pigs to them.
Yeah.
So you got to get one that you feel comfortable with and one that you can trust, and then you roll with them. And you can live a long time with diabetes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all the other things. So I have, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol. I have all this stuff. And you look at me, you won't think so. I'm not obese and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's real. The fear that it puts in you if you don't do right by it.
Yeah. Without the vices, man, it's the stress. That's why I keep going back to the stress. And I'm listening to you talk about you losing your mother at 16, diagnosed with diabetes at 24. And as far as I know, man, you never, I didn't consistently tap into therapy until I was in my 30s, late 30s. So have you ever consistently tapped in with a therapist?
I've never been to therapy.
Never been to therapy once. All that stress you just named. I want everybody out there to hear that, man. Brothers ain't going. Q, you didn't tap in. You had some traumatic things happen to you in your childhood, man. Have you ever consistently tapped in with a therapist?
Not consistently, man. It took my first son almost dying for me to even consider it. I thought I was straight, but like you guys, the same thing happened to me when I was older, you know what I'm saying? My mom, it was 3 years ago on the 19th, on March 19th, when my mom was the week before I seen her, she went to the doctor and like the doctor gave her a clean bill of health, like you straight. She comes to visit in Minnesota. She goes home for about a week and then she just drops dead. She was going outside to smoke a cigarette and didn't even make it up the stairs and dropped dead. Got to the hospital. They was like, we couldn't save her in the ambulance. And we still don't know why. They didn't say that she had, diabetes, high blood pressure. They didn't say none of that. And talking to her doctor's like, what? I just checked. She just had a checkup. She was cool. Like, and so we still don't know. So like that's very traumatic for me because it's like, I don't want to offend nobody, but it's kind of easier if you feel like, okay, your mom lived a long life, went out from old age, but just to drop dead with no answers, like it's very traumatic. So, like this is, like I said, it's 3 years ago,
Right.
So yeah, very traumatic.
With all of that, still haven't tapped in consistently with a therapist, right? Because
Still have.
your own words, I thought I was straight.
Thought I was straight.
Well, time for some education, brother. I need you. What age were you when you decided to tap in consistently with a therapist, and how did it affect? Because our minds and bodies are connected. So tell me if that had any impact whatsoever on your body or your mind. You on mute, bro.
Sorry about that. My first experience with a therapist was forced upon me. It wasn't my choice, but it did open my eyes to the power of therapy. And then when I identified that I needed therapy later on as a grown person, I was more apt to seek it out. I've never run away from it, from therapy. If I need it, I need it, and I know when I need it. Um, I may have procrastinated at times, knowing I need some therapy, but not doing it. Um, but it's definitely a beneficial tool. Um, it definitely makes you feel better too, just to be able to talk to someone about stress or whatever it is you're going through, and to be able to be given other perspectives by, excuse me, someone who's experienced in all of these things that you're talking about, and it just adds to that when it can be a fellow black man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me chime in. Man, it goes back to what we was talking about the trust factor or whatever. Another thing that's highlighted with that when we're talking about doctors in general is the pay. People scared to go to the doctor for that reason too.
Yeah.
$6,000 for a syringe, $1,000 for something like a test. Like that's another reason why a lot of black men don't go. They be like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Let me be 100, man. Just yesterday, I drove to two or three different hospitals before I went inside, man. And it wasn't because I was being picky about the hospitals. It's because I had to convince myself to take on another bill.
Mm,
Now here I am, like I don't know if I'm having a stroke, a heart attack, or
mm.
like, bro. I was literally actually scared. But I'm sitting outside in the parking lot, and it took me maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to decide to go inside. But the main factor was I didn't know if I wanted another bill because all that was going to do, if this is stress, all this is going to do is add to it. It's another bill I can't pay. You know what I mean? That's so I feel you what you're saying, bro. But you want to chime in on that, Walt?
I just was gonna say, man, I have government insurance, Social Security, Medicare to be exact, right? For
Mm-hmm.
me to go to the ER, it's $500, and that's on a fixed income, as they call it, right? $500 to go to the ER. So
Yeah. So man, let's have a real conversation, man. Round robin. I'm gonna ask all three of y'all brothers. Is the expense worth risking your life, in y'all opinion? I'm gonna start with you, Jay.
For me, not anymore because I have decent insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and shit, I'm gonna die owing somebody, bro. So I'm gonna take care of me.
Okay. All right. So you going with or without the insurance, you're going to get checked out.
That's why I have 5 different doctors. I'm going to see every single one of them. When something wrong, I'm going.
Yeah. I'm gonna try like that before you and Q answer Walt. Let Dr. Vibe chime in. He up in Canada, man. So he don't have to pay to go to the doctor for a checkup. You know what I mean? They got that, I think they got that free health insurance up there in Canada, don't they? Insane, man.
Yeah,
What are
that's
we
this
doing?
bullshit country, man.
What are we doing here, bro? What are
Insane.
You know
what
what? It
man?
shows that you say that, bro. That's another stress.
Yeah.
I remember at one time I used to tell you, always have a reason why I'm not going anywhere, not leaving.
You wasn't leaving. You wasn't
Oh, I'm
leaving.
ready to get the hell out of here. I'm ready to
I
go.
ain't saying, man, that was about a year ago. You said you wasn't going nowhere. You
Yeah,
changed your mind that fast?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, Doc.
I
I'm
told
out.
Jay,
I'm ready to
he
go.
said, man, you crazy as hell. America. That brother starts. Now you ready to go.
I'm
I hear
out.
you.
I feel it.
It's ridiculous, man.
Walt,
I
man,
It's
what
being here stressing me out.
being here stress. It's a stressor.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a it's 100% a stressor. Man, don't give a damn about us here, man. If you
It
being
don't.
honest with yourself, you know that. And you just got going through the motions. But Walt, what about you, man? You taking with or without insurance, man? You taking care of yourself, or you avoiding the bill?
I am, man, but I understand something in America, that the doctors are big business, and you're gonna leave with a diagnosis. And as we were talking about in the beginning, it's not always the correct diagnosis. Um, Working in healthcare, I've seen a lot. So I know, doctors are people. They're educated people, but they're people. They make mistakes, and they don't know as much as a lot of the public gives them credit for knowing. They're trained to handle things in a certain way. And healthcare in America is sick care. It's not healthcare. It's how
Yeah,
can we give you something else to take? It's not
yeah,
always try how to make you feel better. how to make you pass these tests.
That's
Your
it,
blood
man.
pressure is a little bit lower, your cholesterol is a little bit lower, but continue to take your medication.
Yeah.
And you say, Doc, oh, but the medication gives me a headache and it make my tool don't work. And the doctor says I have a pill for that.
Right.
That's it. More pills. That's why
Hey,
I
Joe, what something what Wall said, you know what? Why I'm so at ease with going to the doctor? I can run all this stuff by my wife. So I
Yeah.
know
See,
if it's
right,
bullshit.
right.
So
Yeah,
I can
you
run
married,
it by my wife. I'm like, hey, the doctor told me this, and this. And she was like, nah, that ain't happening.
you married to a
Right.
nurse. You got a little inside. You got an insider to the game, man.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know. But Q, man, what you doing, man? You taking the bill or you going in?
Man, gotta take the bill. I think it ain't too much worth risking your life. I mean, to protect your family, that's about it. But yeah, you gotta go to the doctor, man. Like my son had to take a physical for basketball, bro. We got insurance, good insurance. Still was a $400 copay, bro. And
What?
like just gotta take it on the chin for a physical, a basketball physical at
That's
that.
insane, bro.
But
What
yeah, man, ain't nothing worth your life, man.
what are we doing here, man? But I want to listen. I want to skip over the therapy thing, man. I don't know if you answered my question, Walt. Do you feel the therapy helped your body? I guess what I was trying to get to.
Yes.
Okay, right. That's what I wanted to understand, man.
And to be specific, therapy allowed me to release stress that had just been festering inside of me. And I was able to talk about that and not only talk about it, but find solutions on how to lessen some of it.
Yeah. And listen, JQ, I'm not just listen. I broke down. That's the only reason I went to there. I broke down to the point where I had to go get myself institutionalized. I checked myself into the hospital, and that's when I started taking therapy serious. So I wasn't one of these brilliant brothers that just said, "Oh, I got to go get some therapy." No, I mean, I had no choice because if I didn't, I wasn't gonna make it another day. I was going to die in my own hand. Um, and I just kind of took one look at my sons and was like, "Nah, man, I don't want to do that." I'm gonna go check myself in. What I didn't know though is that you can't check yourself out. If I think I would have known that, I never would have gone. I honestly didn't think I had that kind of control. I thought, hey, I can check myself in and I can leave whenever I feel like it. No, you can't leave until they say you good. And they take you super serious when you go in there, man. They take all the strings out your shoes and if you got a little rope around your pants, elastic, they take that out. You know what I mean? They're making sure you ain't gonna do no harm to yourself. But I do want to ask y'all, start with Q, man. Let's have a real conversation, man. Why, with all the stress that you've been through in your life, have you avoided or not going to therapy?
Man, I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a good question because I know the only time I did go, like it was very helpful. But I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Super buck, like it was free through my company, so that was the reason why I did it and even considered it.
Cost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I've been
And
telling
it's
people
a
all the time, man, if I shot you in the ass, would you go to the doctor or would you just kind of let it heal up? And I was trying to tell you, like, man, because you bleeding, you bleeding internally, and you're not going to the doctor to get that stuff healed. Somebody shot you internally, and you're not really doing anything to heal it up. But if I shot you in your ass, you're gonna get that patched up. Jay, man, you've been through a lot, bro. Why ain't you going to therapy all these years?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, man.
Oh
Jay,
man, I kind of find therapy in my garage, bro. Honestly, I haven't spoken to anybody, but man, when I'm out there tinkering with that car, and honestly, my therapy was gonna probably kill me. When I'm out there tinkering with that car, or I'm out there at 180 miles an hour, I'm at peace.
okay. So you find another way to soothe, man. I hear you, man. And brother, you're exactly right, man. Hitting the gym can help keep the doctor away for sure. But
Only
some of
so
us,
much, man. I
but
know
only
plenty of people that were gym rats.
some of us is I'm going to the gym all the time, man. Like I literally, man, I'll go play a couple hours of basketball, hit the weights, all of that, man. Man, I really do live a life, man, that what I'm saying, that you would think like, how's this brother doing it at 44? But I'm still active like that. And man, I still got these problems.
Man, the gym can only do so much, man.
It only do so much, man, but
It can only
it
do
does
so
help.
much. I hear people say that all the time.
Yeah,
The gym can only do so much, man.
it does help, man. It does help. And man, you the one of the
Yeah,
ones
it helps. It helps with your physical.
that told me to go, Jay. You one of the guys that told me to go.
But I'm just saying it only helps so much.
It helps.
I think any type of movement is a little bit therapeutic, man. Because like the old heads say, man, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it, man. So any type of movement is a little therapeutic.
Man, I started feeling, energy problems in the gym too, man. And I had to start, what I'm saying, get that testosterone up. You know what I mean? Because it was like, man, I didn't want to at first, but I was like, man, I might need some help with this, man. My energy is not there. You know what I mean? And I know Mike on last week's show said something was really significant about, one of the hardest things about it is, getting older, man. You can't do what you used to do. You know what I mean? But I know, so I'm gonna lose some of it, man. But I'm like, man, I'm having a hard time completing workouts, bro. So I don't know, a lot of brothers is and that's probably a topic for a different time, but I know our brothers is feeling that dip in that testosterone when you get older, man. It's a real thing. I didn't really know how common it was, so I started talking about it because it's not something you go outside and be like, hey, my testosterone's low. You know, the more you start talking about it, man, you feel like you find out it's really not that uncommon. And it's really nothing that, there's nothing we can do to prevent it. So we honestly shouldn't be ashamed of it. I mean, it's not like we're going and just open ourselves up and dipping the testosterone out, man. Dr. Vibe, man, I'm not eating bad, man. You know what I mean? Like every now and again, but I'm really, what I'm saying, I'm fruits and vegetables type of dude, kale and beets and all these things. But every now and again, I ain't gonna lie, man, I have a meal that ain't great. But it's not like I don't overindulge ever. I don't overindulge at all. So it really shouldn't be nothing that's killing me, is what I'm saying. Um, but for me to reverse it, I have to really go to the extreme. I honestly, to reverse some of this stuff, I probably have to go like vegan or something, which is really challenging. You know what I'm saying? Especially here in America, man. Like Walt said, man, the food is expensive here, bro.
Oh yeah.
Eating healthy is expensive here, you know? Um, so, man, this dude, Dr. Vibe trying to diagnose me, man. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it offline, brother. We'll talk about it offline. But what can we do now, man? Like, so, what's I know Jay, you said you outside in the car, man, and tinkering around in the car, man. As you getting older, I'm hoping that still works for you, man. But is there any other habits or routines that you pick up to try to like build up, I'm saying, your physical and your mental health right now?
I tell you this, I'm try to make it real quick, man. 3 years ago, man, Stacy, we took a trip down to the hill country. Went to this little town called Wimberley, Texas. We stayed in a bed and breakfast. It had no TV, but it had no TV. You can use your cell phone stuff, but it had no TV, bro. That shit was so refreshing and stress relieving. I'm like, we're gonna have to do stuff like this more often. So just getting away from our everyday is a stress reliever. It's just to the monotony, bro. Once you break the monotony, that's the monotony itself is stressful. So if I can get away and do something to break up the monotony, I feel a lot better for a while.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, man, that sounds like a little retreat, a little getaway.
Yeah, and
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
it was a getaway from everything. I still had to, get out and go deal with people, but it was the getaway from the thought of work. It was not having a TV in my face. It was not having to hear the kids bitching about stuff. So it was just stuff like that, man.
I think that was the best part of me being when I checked myself in. They take your phone too, so you have no access to that thing. And I was able to read I read Michelle Obama's whole book while I was in there, man. I have not been able to read a book in I don't know how long, man. My mind was so clouded with just to be able with the access to my phone and knowing that people have access to me. So no one had access to me. I didn't have access to anyone. And that unplugging allowed my mind to kind of, like what Jay's saying, like clear out a little bit, man. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend if you can unplug which is very difficult, man. Anything, and I tell people all the time, if you feel like you can't live without something, you definitely need to fast from it,
Mm.
for your own mental health. And then when you start feeling like whatever it is, I can't live without this Poke, I can't live without these cookies, I can't live without this phone. It's time for you to fast from it, because it has too much control over you, man. Man, Walt, man, let me ask you, man, how do you feel like we can normalize these conversations where we at in the barbershops, in the group chats, in the family reunions? Man, how do we? What's an idea, man? Give us an idea.
Hey, I'm gonna say just speak up. Just say it. Like, and in this moment, I'm gonna speak up because I heard us, I heard everybody have their reasons to not go to therapy, whatever it was. Like, if it's money, if I don't need it, whatever. And I'm just gonna implore my brothers to, man, go sit down and talk to somebody, man. Like, it's beneficial. It's beneficial. We may feel like, oh, I got it. I've been doing it this way for this long. It's worked for me. But you'll be surprised, man. Like, and I know a lot of us have issues opening up to people, especially strangers, like people that, okay, this is a professional, but I'm gonna tell them my personal business. And, yes, because that's the only way to get to the bottom of the things that are affecting you. And they affect us on every level: our blood pressure, our cholesterol, our psyche, how we talk to our wives, how we talk to our children, like everything. So it's really beneficial, man. So I'm just gonna say, go talk to somebody, guys. Like, whether you feel like you need to or not.
Yeah, man. We gotta push our brother Q, man. We gotta push you, bro. You ain't been to the doctor or the therapist, man. We gotta get you in somewhere, bro.
Definitely finna go to the doctor, man. After this conversation, yeah, I'm there.
We need you, bro. What is you doing? You texted me that earlier, man. I'm telling it right back to you, man. We need you too, man. What are you doing, bro? 7 years is insane.
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
But man, you're right, Walt. Speaking up, man. We gotta speak up. We gotta talk to each other, man. And I don't want to be like, what I'm saying, shaming brothers or nothing like that, man. And but we gotta encourage brothers. You gotta go, man. Like it's brothers, what I'm saying, that really got me to go. Like just listening to guys, talking, man. Like, man, I gotta stop playing, man. As much as I don't really want this bill, because really that was the only barrier for me to go, man. Because the last time I went to the hospital, I'm still paying for it, and I'm like, man, I just can't, man. But you know what? Like you said, Jay, I'm gonna die owing somebody. So it is what it is, man. And like as far as therapy goes, man, right before this podcast, man, I'm talking to this brother, man, hoodest of the hood dudes, man. And he just, his girl pushed him in initially, and now we talk on a regular, man. But just kind of watching him trying to dissect some of that anger that he's been forced to lead with, talking about baby mamas and hood situations, former hustler, all those things, man. And watching like people having to unlearn that anger is not the way, or the only way we can soothe our situations is fucking or fighting. That's it. Those are only two options. Ain't no talking or nothing gonna do nothing for us. Bro, we gotta get a different mindset and unlearn some of this stuff, man. Because I asked him, and I'm gonna ask everybody out there, how is that serving you, man? That anger that you was leading with, at the end of the day, you talking about I'm doing all of this so I don't go to jail. Like, what if you just learn how to operate in these spaces without being pissed off all the time?
Mm.
What then? How safe would you be? Then you'd have no risk of going to jail over some crazy stuff, man.
Everything ain't personal, man.
No, man, it's really almost nothing's personal. That's the really the thing, Q. Like, because if anybody attacks you, honestly, it really probably has little to do with you in a real way. Because what is inside of somebody that makes you want to go out actively harm another human or fuck up their situation? What about what's really happening with you that makes you want to go do that, man? That's something inside of you. Hey, man, listen, I appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna wrap this up by kind of giving some of what y'all takeaways are for the day, or any personal commitments y'all making to your health situation. And I'm gonna start with you, Jay. You got any takeaways for today, or anything you want to lead the people with?
I don't know, man. So yeah, kind of like Walt said, is for or like Mike said. Mike said in the chat that everybody needs some kind of therapy. So I don't know if that's going to talk to somebody or just whatever it may be. That takes you away from being on 100 all the time. Do it. So for me, unplugging and just tinkering helps me. I probably do need to go talk to somebody. I got a lot of stuff from my past that I can discuss with somebody. But I think my fear of going to see a therapist is I know when I'm talking about these things from my past that affects me and bothers me, it's going to make me get really really emotional. And then when I get too emotional, I get pissed. So that's kind of been that's my vice right there. That's been kind of probably been stopping me from going.
Yeah. You said a lot, man. You said a lot. I'm gonna put my therapist hat on the second, man. You said a lot that made me want to jump on you. And I would jump on you live. And when you say that, man, because them emotions are telling you, the fact that you get pissed about your emotions is saying a lot.
Yeah, I get pissed. I don't like to get emotional. It makes me mad.
That's what I'm saying. That's saying a lot, bro. That's saying a lot. And I ain't gonna get into it with you right now, but that's saying a lot. Yeah. Walt, man, what you want to leave the people with? Any takeaways from the day? Any personal commitments you're gonna make? Where you at?
Personal commitment. I moved out of America. Like that was for my health. Like that's why I got out of here. Okay. But what I'm gonna say about doctor's visits, therapy visits, man, I'm just gonna implore my brothers again to just do it. As far as therapy, you know, session 2 with Joe, he unlocked some stuff that I didn't even know was in here, and it happened every session thereafter. So sometimes we don't even know. Not even what's wrong with us, that something is wrong with us, right? But all of those things were unlocked for me in therapy, man, and it came at a time when I really needed it. So I just implore my brothers to just go sit down and talk to somebody, man.
Yeah, it's important, man. That you can, it's important to say that this brother came in with supreme confidence. He didn't lack for no confidence. So unlocking something in somebody like that who really felt like he was good in a real way and understood the high intelligence kind of guy, but didn't know that he was struggling with certain things. And then when it started, unraveling, I mean, less than a year later, the brother's in another country. That's the authenticity, that unlocking authenticity and that's the goal, man. This is the poster child of what we're trying to do right here. And I let them know that all the time, man. Get to who you really are and where you really want to be, and do that unapologetically in a way, man. It's crazy. So I appreciate that for you for sharing that, bro. That's a very important experience that I want our brothers to hear. Q, takeaways, man, commitments. We on your ass today.
Man, you already know, man. I'm committed. I'm definitely committing to going to the doctor like very soon, man. Like I've had, like I said, I ain't been in a while. I haven't had a checkup in so long. Like my stepfather, he had colon cancer. He let it get all the way to his lungs, and by the time he went, it was too late, and he passed from that. And me saying that to y'all, like I haven't been in this long, it makes me go back to that. So I'm like, man, I gotta go. Like I gotta go. I'm definitely gonna go. So like that's my permanent commitment, man. Like as of right now.
Yeah, man.
For real.
You'd be surprised what unlocked, man. Like I told you, that dude, hood is hood dude, man. But a good man. You know what I'm saying? Like everything he was is what he felt was out of necessity. A good man. So we talking about, he's talking about life has got him weary. I know. I can't think of a black man. I don't know a black man that don't feel that way, bro. It gets you weary. All the pressures and expectations that we have to put up with on a daily basis, man. This shit will wear you the hell out. How are you just functioning without talking to nobody? You know what I mean? That's It's not healthy. Now I'm in a little bit ways, I have to remind myself of that sometimes, man. And he started talking about, like, we started talking to that brother, man, about the loss of a loved one, man. The brother broke down completely. Even gangsters got to go somewhere to cry, y'all. Like, we all got, you know what I'm saying? We all got to go somewhere, man, and let this stuff out, man. And then you feel the difference in yourself.
We deal with it so long, man, from little bitty boys till we just learn how to just put it away and deal with it.
Learn behavior. It's learned behavior, man. It's learned behavior. We passed down from, but it was a tool of survival from the. I can't even be mad at the generations before us because it's a tool of survival, right? They needed that to survive, and they passed that down. But now we're not there no more, man. We're in a different space, so we have to unlearn and relearn a lot of different tools in order to be, functional in today's society, man. And hey, listen, I appreciate that you saying that, man. I'm glad. If I get 3 people in here watching or 300, man, hearing this type of stuff is what helps me get up every Tuesday to do it. Because I'll be honest, some days I don't feel like I got it, but I'm always reminded that that it helps somebody. So we're gonna keep getting up and doing it, man. Listen, man, that's all we got for today, man. I don't want to keep y'all. I really hope that y'all are going to the doctor, going to the therapist. If nothing else, just for regular checkups. You don't have to be in there weekly, but I recommend that every single person, man, if you commit to just going to one therapy session, man, just one, and seeing if anything unlocks for you, if anything comes out of you that you didn't know was there. I challenge every man to do it and find out, what exactly you need or don't need. Like the brother Walt said, man, like I said, high intelligent, super confident man. Didn't know what he was dealing with and had no idea how he was holding himself back until he got into the therapy space and unlocked some things for himself, man. That's important. That's important. You don't just because you're functioning and you're doing well and you have a high level of intelligence and understand logic, don't mean that you don't got somewhere to go with this. So I'm going to end the show, man. My brother Q, man, I want to talk. You can talk. You can tell everybody, man, your plan of dropping a song every week, man, for as long as you can do it, man. Talk about that for me.
Yeah, man. Like we was talking about therapy. Like that's it's kind of like how I release. I'm a writer, man. So I'm 44 years old. I don't see myself stopping. I ain't trying to have no record deal. I ain't trying to get famous, but I can't stop. So I make music. I got a song dropping tonight at midnight. I'm gonna drop one every Wednesday, probably for a couple months, and I call them Wednesday Rights, man. And they're, I make positive music, man. Ain't no killing, ain't none of that in my music. I'm trying to uplift. So, I put my emotions in there. So that's what you will hear.
And you said I'm gonna just introduce the song you did last week, but this week you dropping the intro to this show that many people have been asking me about. It's going to be available where?
It's going to be available on all streaming platforms, man. Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, Spotify, everywhere you can find streaming is going to be.
Yeah, go download that song. I've been waiting for this brother to download this song, so I got to go to my files to go get the music. I can go straight to my Apple Music and play the whole song, man. A lot of y'all ain't heard the whole song, so.
What's the name of that song?
It's called I Can See.
That's the intro for the show. I Can See.
Yeah.
On the Fly Robotics.
Yeah. At Fly Robotics on all social media. One word.
But last week you dropped the You Are Not Alone, so I want to hit y'all with that on the way out, man. Once again, I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next week. And everybody, do your best to be the real you, man. Authenticity is the key, man. Stay up.
The true grind, living the silence you never speak of. You're vulnerable at times and a sign of apparent weakness. The clearest inherent speeches to teachers, they couldn't reach us. From fetus to believers to vastly overachievers. I learned that all them toxic traits, they really ain't had no meaning. When it's ugly as a box of face, we square with the reasoning. Slated to be outdated, but waivers was in our favor. Mistreatment only made us resilient and highly favored. Put a pin in it for the wallflowers that's innocent. For the mamas always giving 100% of their eminence. For dads who kept their kids from 100 years of imprisonment. For the child who took the jewels and turned the knowledge to businesses. To the Lord who still buys with no judgment to no extent. We intend to shed these jails without prejudice. Lifting weights off the shoulder for the lifetime fitness. Witness the litmus. As we age and build our own thrones, look at your community. They'll tell you that you're not alone.
You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone.
Emotional prison, use the wisdom to sow.